a Nintendo Switch controller commercial to watch, apparently. Oh, my hair is getting so long. I want to grow it out, but I'm also like a little nervous about, I don't know, growing it out too much or something. Let me turn my mic up a little so that we're right about where we want to be. Cool, okay. So what I wanted to do real quick is kind of give you guys an idea of how my, kind of when I get obsessive about certain things, how that manifests. So I'll show you real quick. We'll go into this screen and I will show you. So I end up on Google. For example, about a year ago, I ended up insanely hooked on Casey Neistat videos. And so before you know it, of course, I am down the electric skateboard rabbit hole. So I'll show you what I did. Of course, my first thing is I go into Google Shopping because it's normally just a good place to get like a baseline idea of how much you can expect to spend. There's usually going to be a range for any, especially with electronic items. As you can see, the WowGo here, WowGo 2S, is $379. That's actually cheaper than it was when I bought it. I bought it for about $400. Anyway, but it goes all the way down to like $79.99, and you can see why these ones maybe don't work as well. This one only goes 18 miles an hour. This little tiny H-Boy is adorable, but it's $200, and you know it doesn't go that fast. So I would go there. Then the next thing I would do is I would end up on YouTube. Here is the current thing that I'm actually kind of obsessed with, is the Oculus Go. Is the Oculus Go still worth it in 2019? So what I would do is I would put on a video, hopefully not get, oh. Of course I get an ad. But when the ad is over, you get a review video. So what I do is I end up watching a lot of reviews. No, I don't, why? Why so long video? I don't want free trial. All I want to know is if the Oculus Go seems like it's worth it. Now the Oculus Go, by the way, I've found it for anything from $150 all the way up to like $300. Is this just... Oh, it's Daniel Farrow.
Today I'm going to be talking about, as you've seen from the title, this guy right here, the Oculus Go. Now, I want to talk about the Oculus Go because it's 2019 now. There have been new developments in VR, VR headsets, and basically I'm just going to kind of work out or talk about whether the Oculus Go is still worth buying in 2019.
Now, as a little backstory, because I'm so into like the YouTube scene, I kind of know a little bit about everybody. I happen to know that Daniel Farrow, the 360 guy as he calls himself, he kind of specializes in 360 images and 360 video, meaning that he goes and he reviews like 360 cameras. That ties in like perfectly with VR because you can then experience your 360 video as though you were there if you have the VR with the head tracking, so that when you look, you're actually looking around in three-dimensional space. So that's why he is here reviewing this. But if we go back, you can actually see that there's many, many other reviews. And the thing that I end up finding is I go and I look for specific apps. So before this, I looked for best social media apps. And one of them is AltSpace. That's the one that I'm currently like really excited about. See, here we go, best social Oculus Go apps. So the thing is, I really like that when you go in, they start showing you different, you can get a much better feel from a video. So this is, Reggie Watts did a live performance in AltSpace. Reggie Watts, Justin Roiland, a couple other people. Basically a lot of celebrities who get their hands on the Oculus Go as opposed to the newer VR headsets, and some of them that are still on, the Quest and the Rift and all that stuff. They found that AltSpace is a really good promotional tool because there's a lot of people in there that are just kind of waiting to see what happens with this VR social space. So Reggie Watts does some events. Drew Carey, Justin Roiland doing a drawing, Al Roker. They have an open mic night. Like, they do open mic nights. They have dance part. Like, I love this. Storytelling. So yeah, this is an app that I need in my life, basically. So now what I would do is, since I've fallen down that rabbit hole, like I said, we'll go into Google Shopping and we'll type in Oculus. Oh, there's an S there. Go. And let's see what we get from that. Yeah, see, $199 for the 32 gigabyte one. You can get it down to about $150 if you go to eBay or do not trust Mercari. I can't stress that enough. This right here, Mercari, they are just notorious for selling broken stuff. Do not trust them. Mercari, there we go. Okay, market. Mercari. Yeah, it's everywhere. The Google Daydream is really cute, but the thing is, I've already done that. I've got probably 3 different VR headsets for the phone, and it's really, really cool to experience VR for the first time. That's what those are made for. You put them on and you go, oh my gosh, I'm immersed in this world. But there's really not a lot of good social media presence. Getting on, I don't even think you can get on AltSpace and Google Daydream. You can do it with the Go. Now, the reason that the Go is so weird and interesting is that it only has one controller. So most VR setups have dual hand controls so that you really feel immersed and you can do things. They also have 6 degrees of freedom, which means you can move your head and it will actually move in the 3D world. Whereas this has 3 degrees of freedom, which means even if I'm doing this, the only thing that's registering is the actual motion of my eyes looking. So you don't actually move in the 3D space as much as you would with 6 degrees of freedom. But for me, I think that's going to work better because I would rather just sit in bed and chill and watch that. So that's where I'm at with Oculus Go. You can see, I'll show you, there's actually, I like the controller design for it, to be honest. It's a single paddle. It's got a home button and a back button. And then it has a, can I get this like actually in a good place where I can look at it? I don't know why it's over there. Anyway, well, that's not going to do it. Anyway, the whole point is that it's got this cool, this is like a flat touch panel, but it's also clickable. So you can use it as a mouse. You can also click around as a D-pad, which I believe you use in AltSpace to move around. And then there's also, I believe, 2 triggers, and those usually are used for teleporting, which is the primary way that people move around in VR right now, is just by pointing to a spot, you pull the trigger, and it shows you, when you're done pulling the trigger, you're going to be standing here. You let go, and bow, you're over there. So, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm explaining this, to be honest. I'm currently obsessed with, I do this thing where I find a gadget, and I get super obsessed with it, and then it's like I have to have it. This is consumerism at its worst, but I typically wait until the price drops to a point that it's at least somewhat reasonable. You know, the electric skateboards go all the way up to like $2,000 or more, and I was able to find the lowest one, which at the time, Christmas of 2017, I believe, was $400 for the WoW Go 2, which is what I have. So $200 or $150 for an Oculus Go is probably still too much, but it's something to look forward to. At some point I'll get there. You guys hear this? That's our cat. What's going on, Sponge? She's freaking out. Anyway, I gotta go. Thank you guys for tuning into my stream where I rant about crap. Later!